time, I did not know the meaning of this word, and that is the truth. I'll tell you why. When a time came in my life, I had to choose my career. I had to choose between law, medical, and engineering. Despite having a medical seat, I chose law. Everybody looked down at me because at this time, parents were just looking to send their kids to engineering school or medical school, and here I was, blissfully ignorant, walking to law school. 5 years of law school did not make me a lawyer. It made me a journalist. But couple of years of editing stories and writing them, I learned the meaning of the word stereotype. I didn't like it. So what happened next? In keeping with my character, as you have seen, I dropped the pen and picked up a backpack with the one idea that I was going to travel the world on my own. Again, at this time, my friends, people around me, my neighbors, people my age group were getting married and settling down in their career. And that also made me friendless. Of course, that did not stop me. So I picked up the backpack and started to travel. In all the years later, from the top of Kilimanjaro to jungles of Papua New Guinea, deserts of Gobi, or climbing volcanoes in Congo, and even into the heart of North Korea, I followed my heart. And as you can see, unconventional travels would always lead to unconventional experiences. To the course of my travels, I have been molested. I have been robbed. I have walked into a civil war. I have been chased by students who wanted money. At the same time, I've also been fed, clothed, housed, and shown extreme kindness. Now, what happened after this is another story. Early on, I had learned to accept that I had stepped off the assembly line and there was no going back. And the moment this realization came, it made me free, because with this realization, I knew I had to do things on my own and accept my own responsibility. There was no way I could expect someone to understand my dream or walk with me. If anyone walked with me 2 steps, was a bonus. Then I came to the next stage in my life, where I realized being bold was also being extremely alone. My friends had by now stopped inviting me to parties, get-togethers, because we could not connect. So what I did then was I sat down in the food court of Dubai International Airport, Terminal 1, and wrote my books, because I had no social life. And hey, there was free Wi-Fi. So I just decided to write my books there. So all the 4 books that I have written have been authored, of course by me, sitting at Dubai International Airport, and I owe a lot to them. Then I became a writer, because I spent time with myself. In the year 2011, internet was a thing. Google had become the first thing on everybody's mind, yet I could not find another person to walk the Kokoda track with me. The Kokoda track in Papua New Guinea is 97 kilometers long. It's almost like a death wish, but it can be done. So I packed my bags and left for Papua New Guinea. 11 days later, walking through leech-infested forests and extreme hardships, I also happened to become the first Indian to have ever done so. But did I intend to get that record? No. It just happened because I dared to pick up that backpack and board that flight to Papua New Guinea. It's another thing that when I was leaving Papua New Guinea, there was a civil war. I was afraid my flight would not take off, but it did, and here I am to tell the story. Experiences in life make you what you are. Yesterday's experience makes you what you are today, and today's experience will decide your tomorrow. The trick is to just grab them. Experiences can come in all forms, shapes, and sizes. You just have to recognize them. I've also realized if I had to create an experience, I just had to do it on my own. without waiting for someone to give me the chance to experience that. Once, while I was volunteering at an orphanage for little children affected with HIV in Uganda, a baby died in my arm. A tiny baby, HIV-infected baby died in my arms. Now this affected me a lot, and I made sure, I decided, and I told myself, I would never have my own child again, because it hurts. Experiences like this make you into what you are today. I'm thankful for those experiences. So if you think you must chase your sunrise at the top of Kilimanjaro, you should just do it, because that is going to define your tomorrow. But like the rest of the world, like maybe 90% of the world, I had no idea what I wanted to do. When I was growing up, I had no idea, and you can see it from my experiences. So I went from being a science student to a law student, a journalist, and a writer, and a traveler. But I knew one thing. I knew I did not want to be a doctor. It's okay not to know what you want to be, but you must know what you don't want to be. I love to write, and I love to travel, and these two things were highlighted over the process of my life. I took a step back and said, what do I do next? This is where the acceptance comes in, acceptance and honesty. I spoke to myself. I asked myself questions. I criticized myself, and I also patted myself on the back. I asked questions. Why was it necessary to go anywhere? Why was it necessary to have a goal? Why not just enjoy the journey? Why not just combine your passion into your profession and be able to change it when you want it? I took a step back, analyzed my options, and I was left with two things, traveling and writing, and I combined the two to become a travel writer. So it's really possible, but it takes a lot of analysis and a lot of time. You might probably never get there in your lifetime, and I do not know where this will end. Will I write more books? Will I travel to more countries? I do not know. I'm just loving the process. A child in Tanzania who didn't like the taste of soup, a lady in Istanbul who sold me her coat for 50 lira on a cold winter night, a boy in Ethiopia who wanted my size 6 shoes to fit his size 8 shoes so he could go to school. These were the reasons Travel and Relief was formed. This is just a concept. It's a concept that inspires travelers to developing countries to pack one essential item in their luggage that they could give away to a person in need in the destination country. It could be a bar of soap, it could be a toothpaste, a shirt, a pair of shoes, socks, anything. These are requirements of the people. All it takes is a thought. A thought then translates into an action. That is why Travel and Relief was born. Through this, I have wandered in rural Africa quite a bit, trying to help and empower people in different ways, helping women with certain items of personal clothing, because I have been in the stage when molestation is inevitable for the lack of it. But the next important question is, now we have come through a series of life doing all these important things. You know you have stepped off the assembly line, you're not part of the herd. There is no going back to the herd. You're all by yourself. So what happens to the responsibility? Do you owe yourself or the society anything? It is great to be bold, it is great to be different, but responsibility is everybody's. You don't stop being responsible because you're different. In fact, you'll be more responsible now because you have dared to spearhead a change. Being bold is not about climbing all the mountains or walking through all the jungles or battling snakes. It's the little things that you do. It's your ability to speak up, not speak down. It's your ability to give, to take, to understand, to empower somebody else, to share your knowledge. These are the small things that make you bold. There will be stereotypes, there will be people trying to put boxes around you, there will be people who question you. More importantly, there will also be self-doubt. But the trick is to move on. The goal is not important, the journey is. Because when you have a goal, you're stereotyping yourself. You're tying yourself to a goal, and that is the exact stereotype they want to break. So go chase your sunrise, climb your mountain, travel solo, do what you like, but be the best. Try to be the best. There is no need to shout from the rooftops about being a rebel, but two things will happen when you decide to be what you want to be. If you let yourself be that, you will become it. You will either end up being a rebel or you end up being a role model. But whatever you become, it is definitely better than being sheep. Thank you.